Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that on Chinese desire.
Welcome, race fans, to the virtual desert Phoenix International Raceway, site of tonight's Elite Racing League. We are about to settle 156 laps here from Phoenix, Arizona, the virtual world, taking on the desert on this unique D-shaped roll. Really, taking a look at this ISM Raceway. Oh, is it still called ISM Raceway? That took me by surprise, actually. With
yeah, I think in iRacing it's still called ISM Raceway, unfortunately. So not fully updated there in terms of, it is now just the Phoenix Raceway, isn't it?
Yeah, and that is my co-anchor there, Rasav, joining in there. Sorry, I was taken back, so I didn't get to fully introduce you.
No worries there.
But interesting here tonight, an interesting race that we are going to have here. 156 laps to decide. It's never too early to be talking about points here. We are only 5 races away from starting the playoffs.
Yeah, we really are, and I mean, we're getting straight to it, aren't we here? So immediately the field goes to green flag raising here.
Wow.
Didn't really get a chance to go through the...
I wasn't even expecting, I knew it was ISM Raceway, but I still wasn't expecting the start-finish line to be on the backstretch. The start-finish line is in the dog leg now.
Yeah,
so I had no idea they were going green.
A lot of things changing there. We've already got a car around.
Already.
Chad
92's in it.
95 there is in it as well. They're off track, though. The yellow flag is out. Josh Adams, one of the ones involved in this incident here. Let's take a look. He goes down. Chad Thurquist goes down. Adams is the one who loses it up in front of Thurquist. So what happened to Josh Adams here? We'll hop back once again.
Right through the dog leg here. Didn't really see anything. Can't imagine netcode being a problem here this early, but that car just breaks loose.
Yeah, wow. Kind of shocking there for me to kind of see that happen.
A lot of things are shocking us here, and we have not even hit lap number 2 here at Phoenix, or ISM Raceway.
So with that, I mean, let's go through the field right now, at least as they stand. Some positions have changed. The top 5, though, remains the same as where they qualified. That's Scott Crump, Gerald Campbell, Nick Massey, Chris Wright, and Andrew Rucker. All of those drivers, barring Nick Massey, have shown great pace this season, but have not won a race. Nick Massey has shown great pace, but has won a race, and did so at New Hampshire, a racetrack very similar to this one here at Phoenix. So keep an eye out for him. But yeah, a lot of names up front right now who maybe haven't had the most straightforward season so far, especially when you're looking at the points.
And what an attaboy to the 90 car, Scott Crump getting that pole there. He definitely wants to try and turn his season around. Hasn't had much of luck, as you mentioned there, so still early. Very much a lot of this race to go, but so far a great run as we are under caution here quickly here at ISM Raceway, the Hopegivers 156 here. I didn't get a chance to even look through what we would expect for the what do you call it, the fuel window and the tire window. And kind of like Atlanta, as far as showing tires, the fuel window and the tire window are not the same at this racetrack.
No, they're not. And so I got a chance to speak to a couple of drivers before the race got underway here and before it came up to the booth. And what we were seeing is the front right tire basically on these cars is going to be, absolutely beaten down over the course of this race, over the course of every single run. Guys are really struggling to stretch life out of those tires. After 30 laps, I heard most guys saying the car was undrivable. Obviously, when you're talking about fuel now, the car can probably go about 80 laps. You can make this realistically a one-stop race, especially with this caution now in place. But even if we went green the entire way around, this could be a one-stop race if you're just looking at fuel. But the word that I'm hearing is that expect probably a two-stop race just because the tire fall-off is that severe.
Wow, we will be talking about that there. Brake rotors here glowing, and now, especially with this early caution flag, I can't imagine that's going to be the last time we see the yellow flag. Pit road was open last time, but we had no takers right there. Looks like we will be having 3 laps, I believe, under caution. Also something that's unique here.
Yeah, so Jared Rexing is one of the guys who does make that call to come down pit road. He was running up inside the top 15. Had a good start as well, gaining positions, I think, with that wreck taking place. But he makes that call. Again, just offsetting yourself a little bit there on fuel strategy. We expect to see a couple more cautions here tonight. Hopefully we'll get some green flag runs in as well. But for the most part, expect it to be split up pretty evenly in terms of the way this race plays out, giving guys kind of that opportunity to pitch refresh rubber every time we see a caution.
All right, so generic pace car about to head on in, and this time they will be right on what is now the backstretch here for ISM Raceway. Start-finish line here, not updated.
Little bit different there.
Surprise. Yeah.
Exactly, a little bit different to what we're used to nowadays, but yeah, still.
Racing.
Still racing.
Still
Still
the same.
Virtually the same layout, barring that start-finish line, yeah.
Especially that dog leg. I'd love to see them fan out there 5 wide. I'm actually sad that we don't get to see that here as we get Scott Crump out to an early lead. They are side-by-side battle. That's Nick Massey taking a look underneath Gerald Campbell there for the inside in turn 3. He'll have that position. But Campbell's going to fight back on the outside lane. Don't know definitively what lane is the best right now as they run. Gerald Campbell, able to use that outside to his advantage. He rockets back around the 48 car for second place.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what lane's going to be preferred around here. That's going to be another big question mark for these guys to kind of uncover. What's surprising there, David Tucker, actually one of the first drivers I'm seeing here going below that apron. No guys, we've seen people really heavily cut that apron, especially in modern NASCAR with the way the start-finish line is now. But right now, I mean, you're seeing guys barely cutting that apron down there, probably in some form of effort there to just save their tires.
Single file, most of the field goes right now, so I believe everyone is taking note of what lane they can use, and perhaps it's never too early to try and save a little bit of rubber here as we are approaching 10 laps into this race already. Chad Frankenfield to the outside here.
Yeah, this race can go pretty quick if guys stay relatively put together and everyone stays clean on the racetrack. Chad Frankenfield, that outside move on Ethan Brell, is going to clear the 37. There to go. So Frankenfield up into 8th position. But it's going to be interesting to see how this track races. So the package from what we're hearing is the low downforce package for this next-gen car on iRacing, but it is slightly reduced on horsepower compared to what we're used to now. I think down to 650 horsepower, so might not give us quite the racing that we had with the Gen 6 cars. So again, another new test for these cars. We kind of saw how they raced at New Hampshire. Expect something relatively similar here at Phoenix, though I think Phoenix is, in my eyes, generally a harder track to overtake at than New Hampshire is.
Yeah, exactly. And also, hopefully, we don't see the return of the yellow flag as much as what we saw at New Hampshire. Oh, my goodness. I still have nightmares.
Very fair.
Anyway, back up front, the 31 car, Gerald Campbell. He's caught our pole sitter there, and he's, I believe, given a little bit of a challenge to the 90 car.
Yeah, so that's your defending Cup Series champion there. Gerald Campbell hasn't quite had the season, start the way he's been hoping. I'm gonna see if I can spot him in the points right now, but it hasn't been too hot for our defending champion. Man, I'm gonna struggle to find him. He can't be that far down, is he?
Oh, we got a car in the wall out of turn 4, just out of that shot. They're running, I believe, in the 7th or 8th position. I believe that was Andrew Rucker. He popped it pretty hard.
Let's take a look at Rucker.
Yeah,
there you see. Yep, the side
There's
of
some damage there.
So the side of Andrew Rucker's car. So this is the inside. We don't want to see that part. But if you can potentially see the outside of that car, there might be some damage to that front right fender. And I think you're right. Good eye there on catching that. But yeah, Gerald Campbell, what I was going to say, was down in 8th position in the points. So it hasn't been a bad season, but just one top 5. And he was, I think, on a bit of a better trajectory at this point last year, was fighting for that regular season championship. So looking to kind of get himself back on track, back into championship contention here. And right now putting heavy pressure on Scott Crump. Again, look out for Nick Massey as well, the winner from New Hampshire, the guy who, again, the closest track on the calendar, that's the 2 Phoenix Raceway right here.
Right now, haven't seen much movement inside the top 4. David Tooker's been able to gain a couple of positions since the start of the race, but where they started is kind of where they are running. I believe everybody very much still learning this racetrack there, especially with this next generation car virtually.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, our biggest mover right now, Charlie Brown here in the number 46 car, up 10 spots from his starting position, but still down in 22nd. He's going to keep moving forward, or trying to, here on Corey Abbott. So we'll continue to follow his journey. 34 car is taking the start of this race. So he started down in 32nd. Ooh, there you go. Alec Balvan's making a move to the inside of Brown on the 46. Balvan's is going to get there.
Oh, he got him again.
Wow.
That's going to cost him several more positions as he goes through the dog leg.
Yeah, so Dallas Myhan with a deep cut there through the dog leg. That's kind of what we're used to seeing nowadays in real-life cup racing. Dallas kind of the first guy we've really seen making that move. Meanwhile, Chad Frankenfield moving forward as well. Up on Andrew Rucker now, so his teammate has been overtaken. Next up is Tate Lytle for Frankenfield, who's up 6 from the starting spot. So Frankenfield right now has a much better race car than whatever he qualified with. So liking something in the way this run is going on right now. But if we do see a long run here, could potentially see those tires wearing out. So going aggressive early can work for you, but it can also fall apart very quickly if we get this long run in.
All right, Lytle also holding the position of championship leader currently right now, and that is a point gap that's going to increase over 2nd place there. Tyler Forty, who is not joining us here tonight in this race.
Yeah, no Tyler Fody tonight. There's I know he's suffering from a couple of race ban basically from some action on Monday nights. So no Tyler Fody. He is 2nd in the point standing, so that could hurt him, but he obviously has that win to bank on at the Southern 500, so doesn't really have to worry about his chase position. I don't believe he'll lose that spot either for missing races, but that's actually a good question for the race officials.
Yeah, it's just something to keep on note there as well, if that does play into negatively in his hand as far as points. He does have that win there, but we will see Tyler Forty within we won't see Tyler Forty for another 3 weeks, so that's unfortunate. Also with Colin Bird as well. Tate Lytle, though, doing a great job piloting this second pack in front of Chad Frankenfield there. You see Andrew Rucker right behind him as well. Frankenfield taking a look to the inside there. He's been able to really use that inside line, kind of muscle guys up the racetrack, and he'll have a look into turn number 1, and he'll do so clearing Tate on the inside lane.
Yeah, and that now gives a path here for Andrew Rucker to get by Tate Lytle. In fact, there you're going to see here, Jacob Adams is going to go all the way to the inside, try and get past Tate Lytle as well. So Lytle may be the big loser out of this, losing 3 spots in 1 lap. Maybe taking it a little bit easy on those tires. You see they were now back with teammate Ethan Burrell. So we'll see how this pans out. Guys going aggressive early, some guys saving early. We know tires are going to be the major talking point when it comes to strategy today. The real question is, just how important are they going to be on runs like this, and how much are you banking on, a caution coming out, or how much are you, expecting this race to go long?
And as you had mentioned there with Jacob Adams to the inside there is no out of bounds here. That yellow line very much just a guidance line for these drivers to use as they enter the corner here. But as Mike Joy likes to say, if it's paved, you can run it. And that's what we love to see here at Phoenix. especially with the addition of that dog leg back in 2011 after their repays here.
Absolutely, yeah. So Gerald Campbell falling back into the clutches of Nick Massey right now. He was aggressive on Scott Crump there, but now Massey is the guy attacking Campbell here for the second position. So Gerald potentially in a spot where, and we know Gerald has a more aggressive driving style, especially on these short tracks, something that may not favor him here if we get long runs because those tires might already be wearing. Nick Massey looking to the inside to try and make the move here and overtake the defending champ.
Yeah, he's doing a good time. Showing a good time there to the 31 car as he is inside. Nick Massey was one of those guys, I believe he was competitive, was it at New Hampshire? Actually, yeah, that's where he won. So this is definitely a racetrack that is very much in the wheelhouse of that driver's hands, and I think we're seeing that as he tries to go for second here.
Yeah, here we go. He's going to stay side by side. Great job by Gerald Campbell hanging on the outside, but I wonder just how much that's destroying his tires. That right front, you really have to keep an eye out on that. So, you know, we'll see. I'm curious. I'd love to hear from drivers, you know, what percentage those tires are at, but obviously that's information that they're probably not willing to share here, especially with, you know, this being broadcasted. But man,
they're also not willing to share this position that they are continuing to fight side by side, and now Chris Wright has been able to make it into the mix as well. And as these two battle, that 90 car is getting smaller and smaller up ahead.
Yeah, so here we go. Campbell now to the inside of Massey, but I think Massey is fully clear of Gerald Campbell now. He is. So Nick Massey now your driver in second position. Gerald Campbell drops one spot from his starting position. Will go down into third and now has to fend off Chris Wright and David Tooker. This second pack is interesting. We'll see kind of how they continue to fight. If it was Gerald Campbell who was maybe the pick that's holding guys in, as it kind of looks like with Nick Massey starting to gap this group of cars here. Curious what kind of pace everyone here is able to run in terms of, especially this late in the run here, 26 laps in. You know, what kind of pace they can still get on these tires, and if they can still be competitive with each other. Just looking at timing and scoring, Gerald Campbell on that last lap was by far the slowest driver in this group. You know, you look at Nick Massey, who was just released in front of him, up 0.3 of a second on that last lap.
Already, we're seeing what tires can do here and what you are feeling if you abuse them early in a run. And I believe you were exactly right there, Rashad. I believe he was trying so much to try and get in front of that 90 car, who was now driven away by a good second. Caution is out here for the second time today.
Yeah, caution is out for Casey Hatch, driver the number 14 car. Let's take a look and see. Oh, might have just missed it there, and we did there, so that camera angle doesn't quite get it. But let's take a look. There you see the hard hit there to the inside attenuator for Casey Hatch, but here we go, another look. Sliding there up out of 4 and just loses the rear end, has to correct. Goes on the outside wall. Hits it down to the bottom. Thankfully, nobody else involved in that incident there, so just Casey Hatch, your driver, involved there. And, well, Alex, I'm going to say expect to see everybody coming into pit road now, and I think that's exactly what we're seeing here on our TV screens.
Pit road is going to be a busy place. The second that yellow flag was out, everybody was like, I'm coming in.
Absolutely.
Scott Crump, though, has led every lap, I believe, so far. We'll see what happens as they get to their pit box for the first time tonight.
Yeah, we're you know, just 29 laps into this race here. A couple of those have been under caution, but like I was saying, I mean, you're losing about half the tire life in 30 laps. Realistically, you know, with that particular information, you're probably running out of tires. Like you've got a risk of getting a puncture there within 50 laps. Gerald Campbell, though, overshot his pit box, so the woes just continue there for the number 31 car. He's going to lose quite a few spots here on pit road here. We'll see how much is actually lost, but Gerald Campbell, this could be real bad. So down to 4th, 5th, 6th. He might restart 5th or 6th here. I think he just beats out Andrew Rucker, so Gerald Campbell drops from 3rd to 5th there on pit road with a mistake, just overshooting his pit box.
That's going to be unfortunate, the type of mistake that we don't really expect from a former champion. It has shown up here. 31 continuing to struggle as of late early in this one. Second yellow flag of the night is out, and Scott Crump is your leader. We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back for the restart.
My name is John Cunningham with C2 Freight Resources. We are a Hub Zone certified logistics company here in Houston, Alabama. We've been in business for over 20 years, working with the Department of Defense and the federal government, among many other customers. C2 is committed to truckload shipments along with less than truckload shipments across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Our high level of service is what keeps our customers coming back year after year. Our industry-leading transportation management software, along with our tracking software, allow our customers to know where their shipments are at any time, any day. In closing, C2 Freight looks forward to earning your trust and business through actions day in and day out. We know if given the opportunity, you'll be pleased with our service and communication.
Back to green flag racing here just as the pace car pulls in. Scott Crump takes an early lead with that advantage. Nick Massey, Chris Wright going side by side here for second position. Quick caution there after the pit stops. Gerald Campbell now trying to make the move on Jacob Adams to jump up into fourth position. They're running side by side all the way through the field here into turns 3 and 4 now, as they're known on this particular formation of the racetrack. That's going to take some time to get used to.
Yeah, Nick Massey out to a good jump on second place. It'll be interesting to see what he and that 90 car will be able to do once they have some clear racetrack ahead. And now he had the benefit of that last yellow flag coming up. David Tucker, though, in some heavy traffic, and he's actually lost a couple positions since that restart.
Yeah, he has there. Oh, Gerald Campbell loose! Oh! Can he save it?
He gathers it up. No, he's still heading down pit road.
That's what our timing scoring is showing. He does. He just drives it down pit road. Okay, now just misses. So I don't know if he's going to get any kind of penalty there because he was inside the commitment cone, I believe. But man, that was just so. Let's take a look here and see. But Gerald Campbell just completely lost that.
That is unfortunate there for a reigning champion. But check out the hands on this. He's able to keep it. He does, though. That is pass.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, he's over the commitment cone right there. So that'll be interesting. That would be, in real life, a penalty.
Yeah, it would be. I don't know.
He stays out, though.
Yeah, he's going to stay out on track. They might have waived that penalty. Race Control has the ability to do that if it was avoiding a wreck, which it obviously was in his case. But, yeah, we'll see. Man, oh, man, that was a hairy moment there for Gerald Campbell. So he falls all the way back down now to 30th position. Last car on the lead lap. He's got some work to do here if he wants to get back up to the front.
Meanwhile, back up to the front, the 48 car, Nick Massey has been able to give chase to that 90 car there, and that is the closest we have seen since Gerald Campbell earlier in this race.
Yeah, the question is, though, is Scott Crump's long-run pace that much better here? So that we don't know. We kind of saw Nick Massey maybe being held up a little bit by Gerald Campbell late in that last run. That allowed Scott Crump to run away. This time now it's just a direct fight between Massey and Crump. We'll get a chance to see between those two who's better on the long runs here. Meanwhile, Jacob Adams looking aggressive here on the short run, looking to try and make moves on Chris Wright in the number 20 car. Adams not quite able to get there this time, though. But yeah, look at that. The 25 up a number of positions, up 7 from the start. So he's been moving forward as well, looking strong here early on at Phoenix.
And Adams has had a couple of good runs so far. He put together a great run at Indy 2 weeks ago before being caught up in that wreck there right when Chuck Speeding got into the wall. But I've been impressed with the 25 car speed. Almost was a factor at Darlington as well there. Had that unfortunate outing with the outside wall, as did everybody in that race. But the 25 has really shown up and been a factor as of late.
Yeah, he's been an impressive rookie this season, coming in, and obviously everyone's new to these cars, so it potentially makes his job a little bit easier. It makes it a little bit, evens out the playing field a little bit, but he's still coming in and has been very impressive. 2 top 5s this season already. The consistency is the biggest thing he's trying to work on because the speed certainly is there for this number 25 car.
And with that speed right now, he's taking a look to the outside of Chris Wright. Won't get the position that time by, but still just behind the tail end of this, I believe, second pack. Yeah. David Tucker now is leading up front.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, no, that's Scott Crump. Excuse me there. It was a little bit blurry. But Scott Crump now has actually mirror full of the 48 car, and actually the 20 and the 25 have been able to stalk them as well.
Yeah, we've got a four-way battle brewing here because Scott Crump on that last lap was the slowest of the top four. The top four are in just a complete league of their own versus, fifth place David Tooker here, and they continue to be so. The only cars on track running right now in the 27s, everyone else in the 28s. So the top three, top four drivers here pulling impressive lap times. But of them, Scott Crump, 2 laps ago was the slowest. This last lap he responded was the quickest of these four, but we've certainly got a race going on for the lead right now between Crump, Massey, Wright, and Adams.
Oh, what a pit stop will do, especially if you make adjustments in the right direction. Wow, the 25 car had a look underneath the 20 car and almost used that entire lane to get him. Gathers it up, though, but they lose a little bit of time, as Chris Wright has actually fallen about 3 car lengths behind the 48 car, who continues to stalk the 90 of Scott Crump. And these guys that you mentioned, they were in a league of their own. You can't even see 5th place right there. It is well over a second back to Tooker.
Yeah, here's David Tooker now leading teammates Ethan Burrell and Matthew Weeks, 5th, 6th, and 7th for those Pro Edge Toyotas. But right now don't quite have the same pace of the guys up front. What we don't know, though, is are the cars up front right now stretching out their gaps too much and burning through their tires a bit too much, hoping for a short run, or are the guys behind maybe putting something together here to allow them to come back at these guys a little bit later in this race? We don't know quite yet. We'll see how this plays out, though, if we do stay green.
So a couple of Pro Edge Toyotas there running nose to tail. Behind that group, though, Chad Frankenfield, he's kind of stabilized there in the 8th position there, and Andrew Rucker as well, running inside the top 10.
Yeah, here we go. We're seeing guys run close here. It's been great for Jacob Adams and Nick Massey both to be close to the guys they're trying to pass, but I don't quite think they're finding, it's either there's just not enough pace or the package right now isn't allowing them to make moves where they want to. What we have heard, another thing that I did hear from drivers is, shockingly, the draft is actually pretty strong around here. Despite the fact that this is a 1 mile track, this is a low downforce package theoretically, the draft is still very strong, and so that could potentially be what's keeping these guys in contention, but not allowing them to make the moves that they need to.
Yeah, because right now we're seeing these 4 guys there pull away a little bit as well. That 25 has been searching all over the racetrack, trying to figure out the line to get around that 20 car.
Same thing with Nick Massey and Scott Crump. Massey falling back a little bit, but still just not able to make that move to take over the lead from our pole sitter. Nick Massey has shown great pace, and on the, these last couple laps he's been just slightly faster than Scott Crump. But the issue is that that Scott Crump right now has that so valuable track position. I don't think there's much Nick Massey can do right now.
But we all know that he could be saving his tires as well. Sometimes once you find somebody that, hey, if I'm not going to get around them, maybe he's trying to conserve a little bit, then what's the 90 car, and perhaps when he's ready to pounce, that 48 car might have some life in that rubber versus the 90 car who's been leading up front since the drop of the green flag.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's something we unfortunately don't know until it happens, but that's why we're here bringing you guys all this action, hopefully getting a chance to see how this is going to play out, how this strategy works out, what guys are doing, if they're extending their tires, and when they're planning to extend their tires too as well, because that's going to favor into to how everyone's pace is throughout the course of this event.
Wow, I think right there lost a little bit out of turn 4, and it cost him a little bit of straightaway speed. That gap between 2nd and 3rd is increasing as the yellow flag is out for the 3rd time tonight. So we will have another attempt at a restart there. Some competitor in trouble.
Dustin Dewar here in the number 32 car. Just loses it there. Very similar incident there to Gerald Campbell. Ooh.
He did everything he could to not make that an issue, and he did a good job in making that so, but he did come to a stop on the racing surface. There was no chance but to throw the yellow flag and bring that out. So, but a good save by the 12 car, but he has definitely lost some spots there. I believe everybody else, though, pretty much sighing a little bit of relief. Let's talk about the fuel window here. They are still outside, I believe, of making it on one stop.
Yeah, definitely. We have over 100 laps to go here, so you pit here, you're still going to have to make another stop just on fuel. arguably you're going to have to make 2 more stops with tires being in consideration here because, yeah, over 100 laps to go. Maybe, just maybe, you can get 50 laps on tires here before they threaten to blow up. So, yeah. You know, my guess is you're going to see a 2-stop here from this point on if we stay green.
My question I wanted to bring up, and I did not get a chance to ask earlier, was do we have a tire limit tonight?
Yes, we absolutely do. So there is a limitation on how many tires you have. I don't know that exact number off the top of my head, unfortunately, for this particular event. Normally, it's never been a restrictive number. Guys are able to, you know, they have enough tires, but it's like not so much that you can come in and pit every single caution and abuse that. But we could potentially see something change here. Gerald Campbell again misses his pit box. Campbell really needs to figure that out there. It happens in the dogleg. Obviously, he's a little bit further back in the positions, but there you see Gerald Campbell falling back once again and just struggling to find a position. Just keeps getting worse. This day keeps getting worse and worse for Gerald Campbell right now in that 31 car.
And this is a unique pit road here. Not only does it stretch around 3/4 of the entire track here, but you're right, pitting kind of that in that dogleg, you're kind of at an angle. So is that kind of throwing perhaps his side off and trying to find his pit box there, going around the curve?
Yeah, I think absolutely. That's kind of what's been tripping up Gerald Campbell right now. You know, theoretically, that's something that you should practice during the session before qualifying, but, you know, you never know exactly where you're going to qualify, and your pit box is based off of that. So, it's still, you hate to see that, though, is someone losing the race here on pit road or messing something up or just getting involved because of something that happened on pit road. We want the action to take place on the racetrack, you know, and so it's unfortunate there for Gerald Campbell, but something that he'll have to take and learn from. Obviously did well here in the past, won the championship by performing the best of the championship for drivers this time last season. Or, excuse me, not this time last season, but here last season to win the championship. But right now, Phoenix is not being kind to that 31 car.
Hey, you can be the highest of highs to the lowest of lows in the sport. Yeah, at the same track. All that's changed is time. Speaking of time, time has been kind to the 90 car of Scott Crump. He continues to lead here, I believe, every single lap so far. I don't believe anyone's been able to wrestle the lead away from that 90 machine.
Yeah, not quite yet. It's been just the Scott Crump show so far today. We've seen Nick Massey contend with Crump in the past. Right now it's Chris Wright who's going to start alongside him on the front row with Jacob Adams and Nick Massey on the second row. So either Wright or Adams are going to be the 2 strongest guys to contend, I think, with Crump here on this next run. We'll see how their pace is and if they're able to make a move, if they're willing to be, you know, maybe more aggressive, try something a little bit different. Who knows? But yeah, you know, we've got 4 guys, I think, all who have the speed to win this race. Right now, there's just one man, though, with the track position to win this race, and that's Scott Crump.
Right, so pace car about to make that hard left turn onto pit road. That will be the signal to give the 90 car to go at any point after that. They'll be hard on the gas as they enter turn number 4 and exit. Green flag back out. We are underway after cleaning up our 3rd caution of the night. The Hopegivers 156. Scott Crump out to an excellent lead. Side-by-side battle. First, second place as Chris Wright doesn't get on the gas there, and he's under attack from Nick Massey in that 48 car.
Yeah, I mean, Scott Crump great on these restarts. Really, really great. Again, pulling out to a big gap, allowing Jacob Adams and Chris Wright now to fight it out for second place. And he's long away from this battle here. Nick Massey just hanging out in 4th right now, not going side by side with anyone, maybe saving a little bit. Meanwhile, you've got David Tooker, Matthew Weeks now chasing those guys down as well, trying to join this battle for the lead. Matthew Weeks has been moving forward all race long, up 7 positions from his starting spot.
Yeah, making his first appearance inside the top 5 here tonight. Right in front of a couple of Pro Ed Racing teammates there. You see some drivers using that dog leg to their advantage there, trying to shortcut that corner. Get a run on the inside of turn number 3. Just hasn't panned out for a lot of these guys there. As most of the field now beginning to go single file, double wide though, as David Tooker looks to the bottom of the racetrack on that section of Speedway. Yellow flag number 4 is out.
Yeah, all right. So who is it this time? Kyle Hanshaw, the one it seems who brought out this particular caution. Take a look. I believe that's going to be that blue Chevy, and it is.
Just in to the 90
So
or excuse me, the 33.
It is. So the 93 is the car that was taken out. 89 of who was the 89? That's Brent Jones, I believe, is the one who took him out. So we'll head back to the replay on that. Take a look and see.
Man, this corner is notorious for that. Matt Kenseth lost a race with Alex Bowman in that same section of the speedway there.
Oh, I do remember that one.
This corner, what about this corner? Why do drivers have such a hard time arguing over release date in this corner here?
It's really interesting because, I mean, we've seen even in Elite here issues between drivers heading into this turn number 1. Yeah, Brent Jones looks like he just wasn't able to get stopped in time. If we go back and watch Kyle Hanshaw, I think we might see Dustin Dewar potentially get involved in an incident there with him. Yeah, Dustin Dewar as well involved in that. So let's take a look at his side of this incident. So we'll see the wreck taking place in front. He's checking up for it. Ooh, it just gets run into by the 46 car there of Charlie Brown. Just runs into Dustin Dewar.
Thankfully, he kind of did him a favor by spinning him all the way out because he was going to impact that outside wall there a little bit harder than what he actually did just by how the car and its momentum was heading into the outside safer barrier there. But, yeah, he just got run up. There's one wreck and then the follow-up wreck trying to avoid that. And Dustin Dewar, unfortunately, the victim in that move.
Yeah, really interesting there. But yeah, that turn 1, turn 1 and 2 that it is here. It's interesting. I don't quite know what about it. It makes it so, wreck prone. Guys it really does attract all of these incidents between drivers. It might just be the tight nature of the corner itself, and you've kind of got this wide straightaway here going into it, and it kind of you really have one line, maybe two, to run through there. That might be your best bet, but I don't know. We always see incidents running there, though.
And quickly, our fourth caution flag of the night is out because of it. Scott Crump still your leader. Jacob Adams, Chris Wright, Matthew Weeks, and Tate Lytle, your top 5. We have had an exciting night there of racing. It's not been marred back by yellow flags there, although this one is our 4th one of the night. But we've seen some green flag runs, and really we've seen tires fall off. That's been the bigger story all night long is, I believe, how are you going to stay on top of your tire game and perhaps try to run down that 90 car?
Yeah, that's the big question is, can anybody actually make an overtake for the lead right now? Even if you have, a little bit extra pace, are you just able to get that track position? Are you able to get enough of an advantage, get past that aero buffer right now that I think guys may be struggling with? So that we don't know, and that we're going to keep watching until we can find out to see if anybody... We've seen guys can run as fast as Scott Crump, can run with Scott Crump over the course of a stint. What we haven't seen, though, is can anybody pass Scott Crump, and that's a whole other question coming up.
What we also have not seen, though, is if the 90, I believe we took the inside the last time by, but he's on the outside lane this time. Jacob Adams, though, in that 25 car, trying to keep pace. No one's really been able to beat the 90 car on the restart as well, so it'll be interesting to see if anybody can keep up with that 90 car, perhaps challenge entering turn number 1.
Yeah, we'll see. I expect Scott Crump to get the advantage again on these restarts. He's been so good at these restarts. So the battle's really going to be for second, at least initially. But, who knows? Jacob Adams now lining up alongside Scott Crump could change things up. He could get a better restart. We haven't seen, I think, him line up second quite yet today so far. So, yeah, still a lot to learn. Still a lot of different things to be decided here. Pace car is off, though, and we're getting ready to go.
Oh, and he just gets a well of a jump. In fact, the inside line stalls out. Nick Massey just wasn't ready at all. Here comes Matthew Weeks taking a look underneath. Chris Wright thinking about 3 wide there. Didn't get there in time. Here goes Ethan Burrell outside in that 37 car. They're side by side through the dog leg. They single file themselves out in the top 3. Double wide as Chris Wright is continuing to lose some positions. Ethan Burrell on the outside. He'll rocket up to 4th place. White in that 20 car falling back.
Yeah, so Jacob Adams, interestingly enough, I didn't even notice it until they finally got underway, but Scott Crump started this on the outside lane, so not sure what that decision was or if the decision was unique for him picking the inside lane last time around, but not sure how that kind of favored him on that restart. Obviously, he still got a good jump But right now, Jacob Adams is starting to reel him back in. Now with Nick Massey in third and Ethan Burrell up to fourth. So a bit of a different top four right now. We'll see how are these guys able to compete with each other. How are they able to compete on different areas of the field? We're seeing this top 10, though, pretty jumbled up from where it was before these cautions started coming out.
And we are now at the point of the race where adjustments have definitely been made. You kind of know as a driver where your car stands and what you perhaps can use to your advantage as this 25 car is applying the pressure a little bit on the 90 car. Could we see the first lead change under green here tonight?
I hope so. I mean, I really do hope so. I hope it's not something that happens on pit road. We'll keep an eye out there in terms of action on pit road, but you know, I want to see what can Jacob Adams do. You know, he's been fast. He can, you know, he can make aggressive moves, and I want to see guys maybe making aggressive moves here as a spectator purely. Want to see guys going for it. And right now you can see he is looking up and down the racetrack trying to find a way past Scott Crump. Not quite going to work there through 3 and 4. But, you know, if someone is going to make this move work, I think Jacob Adams might be the guy. He has the pace and might just be aggressive enough to stick his nose down the inside or around the outside there of Scott Crump to try and get the move done.
Rookie, as you had mentioned there, doing a great job. It's 2 top 5s so far this season. But Scott Crump, he is just putting these guys to school here on this racetrack here. I haven't seen speed like this since Kevin Harvick used to dominate ISM Raceway back on the early portion of 2010 to by 2014. No matter what, that 4 car seemed to be on fire. That 90 car showing that exact same pace so far. But as I mentioned that, here comes the 25 taking a look to the inside. He's not afraid to use all of the racetrack on the backstretch there. It didn't work out for him, though, on that section of the speedway, and he will still stay behind the 90 car, but definitely applying the pressure is Jacob Adams in that 25.
Yeah, here we go, and I mean, he's having to apply the pressure because look at right behind him. He's got Massey, Burrell, Wright, and Tooker all waiting to pounce on him as well. So this is a great battle we're seeing here going on. Here he goes. He's looking to the inside, trying to get the nose just on the inside of the 90 car, and I think he's there.
Oh, he's not quite enough. He's going to have to gain a little bit of speed. I believe that move works if he can gain all the speed he can on exit of turn 2. He just seems to stall out a little bit, and the 90 car, he's using the groove of the racetrack kind to keep up that speed, that momentum on the backstretch, and it's just enough to keep in front of that 25 car, despite the 25 really shortcutting that corner.
Yeah, he
doesn't work out for him right there.
He tried it. The biggest thing with that is just it's not even making the pass, but it's just getting your nose in there, taking away that line from the guy that you're trying to pass, but he just wasn't quite able to get there. Crump was just able to clear Jacob Adams, and that made that move not work out. Though again, like I said, Adams I think is the kind of guy, he's aggressive enough to make that move, and right now that's a really good thing. He's the kind of guy who can bring the fight to Scott Crump, and I'm loving this. He needs to regroup for a couple of laps here and then try again, but he also needs to watch out for those tires, make sure he doesn't burn through those too fast.
That's exactly what I was thinking. There is a cost to making that move repeatedly, and it will come in the form of tire wear excessively if he continues to try and make that move and try to make it work. It hasn't yet, so I believe he wants to try and cool down there, but as we say that, he is determined, bound and determined to try and make up all that he can, and he is so close. Oh, how this chess match of inches takes place here at Phoenix.
Yeah, and I'm loving what he's doing there. We're seeing him do something that no one else I've really seen, at least, and that's putting those 2 left side wheels below the yellow line. Here he goes. He dives it into turn number 1 and 2, trying to get to the outside here of Scott Crump. Is he there? That's the question. And if he is, can he make a move around the outside? He is there, but I don't know if he's got the pace to make an outside move on Scott Crump.
He got pulled in the corner right there, but there's enough by the 25, and at the stripe for the first lead change of the day. No, it won't happen this lap here, but the 25 looks to have him in turn number 1. Side by side they go.
Maybe went just a little bit too high in 1. He's going to have the run off, but I think Crump's going to clear. No, he's not. Here we go. So Jacob Adams trying this outside lane. I love it. He struggles a little bit on entry, but finds so much pace from center to exit. Look at that. Here comes this 25 car trying to take over the lead this time by.
Lead change at the stripe, and that one will be official for the first time here tonight. The 25 car takes the lead away from the 90 of Scott Crump. but it is still far from over. Now they're side by side, 2 rows deep,
Ooh.
as Ethan Burrell, pounds the wall on the outside, exit of turn 2.
Yeah, a little love tap there with the wall for Ethan Burrell, so hopefully that's not going to, bend his fender in there. But Scott Crump is certainly not done. You can see the advantage he has entering turn 3, but exiting 4, it's all about Jacob Adams. They're going back and forth here. This is destroying their tires, but we're loving this up here in the booth. Great racing right now for the lead of this Hopegivers 156.
And Jacob Adams, I love the fight inside that young man as he continues to try and go toe-to-toe with the 90 car there. He's not going to give up. The 90 car, though, giving a valiant effort, letting the rest of the field know that if you want this win here tonight, you're going to have to take it away from his hands as he continues to fight on the inside and use it to his advantage. I believe at the stripe. Wow, that was close once again.
Yeah, man, that was incredible there at the stripe. They were, I think, less than a 100th of a second separated between the 2 of those drivers, but they're still going. And now we've got side-by-side for third place as well between Massey and Ethan Burrell. So keep an eye out because guys are going aggressive now. They're starting to pick up the pace here. Everyone's starting to feel, we've just about to pass the halfway point in this event in a couple more laps time here. Guys starting to feel like, all right, it's time to get aggressive, start to make moves, trying to get to the front of this pack. And that's exactly what Jacob Adams is trying to do here. He has still not been able to clear, though. This is number 90 of Scott Crump, and man, oh man, I can't even imagine what that's doing to his right front tire right now. But it's enough that he's staying side by side, staying in contention for this race as Ethan Burrell's falling back right now.
Yeah, he had an issue on the exit of turn 2 once again, and he is now trying to keep inside the top 5. He's under attack from Chris Wright here. The 25 there, he looked like he got an assist from the 48 car, but just as I mentioned that, the 48 actually switched lanes, and now he'll give an assist to the 90, and that pushes the 90 back to the point in the 25, back to second place.
Yep, so there you go, and Massey maybe gets a little bit loose on the bottom, but I think here we go, we're going to start seeing Jacob Adams' tire wear playing into effect here. So he got past Scott Crump. I think he got credited with a couple of lead changes there, a couple of laps led, but it's not going to be enough, unfortunately.
And right now things have settled down as Massey really close to the wall there. The loose touch, here comes the 25 once again, challenging back, and David Tooker as well, waiting in the wing.
Yeah, Tooker's been pretty strong here so far today, just hanging on to the back end of this top 3, and he's going to make the move around the outside on Jacob Adams. I think those tires are completely done on that 25 car, unfortunately for Jacob Adams. A great fight put up by him, but unfortunately that's just the situation there. You run that outside lane, you run aggressively, the tires just can't handle it right now at this particular track. The yellow is out, though.
5th one of the night there, and that couldn't have come at a better time for some of these guys up front. As you had mentioned, they were off. Tire wear beginning to show its face here. As yellow flag number 5 flies here in the Hopegivers 156, a stack up in turn 1.
Yeah, so it was let's take a look at that again. It's going to start actually with Scott Haney by the looks of it. So let's hop on back here and hopefully we'll find it. Still no.
No, he and I believe, I don't know who that is to the outside wall for whatever reason. They were really slow entering the corner. Scott Haney on the brakes, and 4 or 5 cars behind him did not get that message. Yellow flag number 5, the result.
Yeah, so let's take a look here. So Scott Haney versus, I think it's the 46 of Charlie Brown. So here we go. The yellow is Scott Haney to the inside, and there's that turn 1. Just the 46 kind of turns down on him. There's just a stack up there. Guys slow down on the top of the racetrack. The caution flag comes out.
And turn number 1, notorious again.
Yeah.
Talked about it there at the cause of our last caution flag. As the leaders are in, just shy, I believe, of halfway.
Yeah, so everyone coming down pit road. At this point, it's still going to be... Yeah, I mean, you can just make it on fuel. You're still going to want to make it, though, on tires. You're going to make this one more stop in this race if we go green, though.
Got Crump out. Nick Massey at the line gets second. 25 of Jacob Adams is third. David Tooker in fourth. I believe that was Chris Wright in the 20 car. in the 5th position. Caution flag number 5 is out. We'll take a quick moment to go to commercial break, back with the restart and a word after this.
My name is John Cunningham with C2 Freight Resources. We are a Hub Zone certified logistics company here in Houston, Alabama. We've been in business for over 20 years, working with the Department of Defense and the federal government, among many other customers. C2 is committed to truckload shipments along with less than truckload shipments across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Our high level of service is what keeps our customers coming back year after year. Our industry-leading transportation management software, along with our tracking software, allow our customers to know where their shipments are at any time, any day. In closing, C2 Freight looks forward to earning your trust and business through actions day in and day out. We know if given the opportunity, you'll be pleased with our service and communication.
Green flag back in the air. And Scott Crump out to an early lead there, but David Tooker's been able to wrestle the lead away from Nick Massey in that 48 car. Single file the top 3. Here comes Jacob Adams underneath, trying to get fourth away.
Oh, we've got a big crash.
Hard hit. And it's a couple of them. Andrew Rucker is involved. Harrison Talon is the other.
Harrison Talon, Brandon Key involved in that. Brandon Key, one of those guys who's running up high in the points right now, doesn't have a win though. Man, this is a huge, huge wreck here. It's going to bring out our 5th caution of the night, I believe.
6th one of the night there, and I
6th?
misspoke there. Sorry. I thought it was Andrew Rucker there, but you're right. Brandon Key with an incredibly hard hit. Both he and Harrison finding trouble in the dog leg.
All right, so here we go. Let's take a look. Brandon Key to the inside on that number 99. Harrison Talon in the number 23. Ooh, so...
Oh, there is that is the second time we have seen a car get loose. There's got to be a divot or something that does not agree with how those cars are set up at that point of the racetrack, because that is so odd to see two competitors just lose it on the restart. The second time of the night we've seen that.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on there, but we can potentially find out because we have a cockpit cam here from Harrison Talon. And let's take a look and see here. Heading through turns 1 and 2. Watch the steering wheel. That's going to be the big teller as to what happened as they headed through here. Or excuse me, we're on board with Key. Sorry about that.
Yeah, he I guarantee you had no idea, so that's not going to really showcase
Yeah, unfortunately not.
the reason why.
Let's switch to Harrison Talon's helmet cam here and see if we can spot anything with that. That's the real one that we want to take a look at. Was accidentally on Key's camera. So let's take a look here. So through turn number 1, on board with Harrison Talon. It just went.
Oh, yeah,
He wasn't loose off the corner. It didn't look like he was struggling with anything. The car just gave up on him. The rear end just gave up.
And remember, that was our very first caution flag on lap 1 happened because of that. So that's just very odd for these competitors. A lot of unknowns with this race car there, and perhaps the car just unloads oddly in the hands of drivers right there, that part of the racetrack.
Yeah, it's like there's like an oil slick or something just there on that point of the racetrack. Guys who run over it just the wrong way get completely taken out there. It's one of those things where it's tough to it's tough to put it on the drivers, just because I don't know if you can do much as a driver there except avoid that part of the racetrack.
And considering it's kind of in the middle of the racetrack, I would say that's going to be very hard to do.
Definitely. Well, as we're under caution here, want to get a quick shout out to Response Energy, C2 Freight Resources, and Blue Egg Marketing. You saw the ads there for C2 Freight and Response. Both of them are premier sponsors here at the Elite Racing Leagues, as well as Blue Egg Marketing. Blue Egg Marketing is the proud sponsor of Tyler Fody in the number 40 car. They're also the marketing department there for small businesses. So if you own a small business, Blue Egg Marketing will be your biggest fan. They'll help you compete, punch above your weight class, and whatever your constraints are, they help catalyze creativity. So check out Blue Egg Marketing if you're a small business owner, and they can absolutely help you out. Another one of our proud elite premier sponsors here. You can see them all there at the bottom of your screen.
Getting set for the restart just past halfway here. The Hopegivers 156. Scott Crump has had the rest of the field scratching their head onto how to get around him in that 90 car. He'll restart once again with the lead. David Tooker, though, on the inside. The green flag is back out, and we are back underway here at Phoenix.
Yeah, so another good start there for Scott Crump, and that's exactly what he needs to keep doing. David Tooker maintains his position in second. Chad Thornquist in the number 92 up to third position. He's had a good race so far, up 7 spots from his starting position. Trying to see if he can compete for a victory here. Meanwhile, Nick Massey and Chris Wright still fighting it out, but they're a little bit further back than what they were used to, down in 4th and 5th now, versus their earlier battles for 2nd and 3rd.
I'm beginning to fight a little bit of traffic as well, and the further back you are, the Hornet's Nest that is, it's going to get even harder here, especially at this stage of the race. Jared Rexing, though, in that 10 car. Oh, there it is! Jacob Adams in that 25 car hangs on with a wild ride entering turn number 3, but he got loose right in that same section of the speedway. They're actually kind of on the exit of the dog leg. If you want to take a look at that.
Yeah, let's take a look for Jacob Adams this time around as the field stays under green there. Unfortunately, it doesn't get classified as an off-track because here at Phoenix, everything you see is the track. So it's a little bit tricky to classify that stuff as off-track. But here you go. Watch that number 25 red and white Response Energy Camaro. There it is.
Loses it.
Exactly the same thing we've seen so far this race. Back to live pictures here. Continuing with Jacob Adams now up to the front battle. But yeah, he has some recovering to do there. Was fighting for the lead earlier on in this race, now down in 13th after that scary moment.
There, thankfully, though, still in the race, just has a lot of positions to make up. Jared Rexing, speaking of making up positions there, he's inside the top 10 for the first time here tonight. And he's moving his way forward here, running underneath Nick Massey in that 48 car, who's actually backsliding just a little bit. 3 wide to the dog leg. That's Chad Frankenfield off track excursion a little bit. Will it pay out? As Nick Massey over the cushion and into the wall, just barely there, losing 2 spots in the process.
Yeah, so Massey very nearly up into the wall there. Easy to lose it here for these guys, it seems. So again, you just have to be, you're really just walking a tightrope here, both in terms of just actual driving out on the racetrack and, of course, how much of your tires you're wearing down. But here we go. David Tooker could be the next man to try and get past Scott Crump. Jacob Adams was successful a couple of times before ultimately faltering, to Scott Crump at the very end of it. But here we go. Tooker might have a shot this time around.
David Tooker there, so good at the road course at Coda just 1 week ago. Able to get up into second spot there. That's where he runs. He's picking a fine time there with 5 playoff races left to try and get this 19 car up inside that playoff grid. The good news for him is that he doesn't have a lot of cars working behind him so that he can focus more on getting around this 90 car. We didn't see that with the 25 earlier in this race.
Yeah, that's the big question that we just don't know right now, and I mean we're about to get close here to 60 laps to go. So guys are going to be again eager to just start making moves, start getting into the track position that they're hopefully trying to get towards the end of this race. So that's the really tricky part now is the intensity picks up. The question is, can the drivers continue to stay clean as the intensity picks up?
Another question that's going to be on the minds of these drivers is, will we see the yellow flag right now? Because currently we've had some good, strong positions, some good, strong runs inside this race, and that, to me, could signify that perhaps we go green. That could be a chance to try and leapfrog the competition in front of you. Do we see perhaps leaders try and short pit there, or is tire wear so much of an issue here that we expect these guys to all pit in kind of at the same time?
I mean, it's a wide open window just because, you know, tires and fuel don't necessarily line up. So there is certainly that. So yeah, that's the question, right? Is, you know, with the fact that we've had 0 green flag pit stops, do you bring it down pit road? You know, these guys are. I mean, let's take a look and see. But yeah, there's 17 laps in this current run here. Those tires are going to start feeling pretty bad within the next 15 to 20 laps. That's probably when you're going to want to think about pitting here potentially. So it's really splitting this up. So if we haven't seen a caution before then, that's when things could potentially get interesting, and that's when you could start seeing guys taking risks and coming down pit road, or some guys, you know, just, you know, hanging it all out there and trying to see if they can make it until the next caution flag comes.
Attack on the 90 car has stalled out briefly here, but I would like to see if that pit stop perhaps comes, and we're looking around lap 110, perhaps 115 for these guys. Do we see the 19 perhaps try and pit early and try to leapfrog that 90 car, also getting onto pit road there? Who will have the better exit and entry speed to try and make the most of this unique racetrack? And also, you don't want the caution flag to come out during this, because you do go, I believe, a lap and a half here under green, at least a lap and a half down versus the leader until they pit. So that could also be a little bit of a window that these guys could fear pitting early.
Yeah, definitely. It's just it's so much of a risk. Here we go. You're seeing, I think Chad Thornquist maybe burned through his tires a little bit early. We're starting to see guys get past him. There goes Chris Wright, Chad Franklin now going to look to the inside as Scott Crump and David Tooker in a bit of a league of their own there right now. Jared Rexing as well up inside the top 5 now as he slots up past Chad Thornquist. So good to see his forward momentum there in the number 10 car, up 10 spots from his starting position. But yeah, strategy is such a big question mark for me right now, and it's going to be something that we kind of just have to let play out. I think if we do stay green here, it's just a question of, you know, how long does this green flag stay out? Is it to the end of this race, or is it like every other run we've had so far, where it's going to come right before those tires really become a problem? These guys have been very, very fortunate with when these cautions have come out. I'll say that.
It's very much indeed. We see whose fortune comes to fruition here as we see Chad Frankenfield give chase to Chris Wright. Chris Wright's been able to work up inside the podium run currently right now in that 3rd position. And also Nick Massey, he had lost touch a little bit on that cycle of pit stops and underneath the green flag, but he looks to be working his way back here just behind Jared Rexing in that 10 car. Still single file as we see Matthew Weeks and Gerald Campbell. Campbell trying to recover from a couple of disastrous pit stops there, and now he's under attack. Tate Lytle there, our championship leader on the inside, or excuse me, that's Josh Clark.
Yeah, it's Josh Clark. They got some pretty similar looking paint schemes, I'll give you that though. But yeah, I mean, Gerald Campbell, great pace by this 31 car. He's moving himself back up inside the top 10 here. You know, let's see how far up he can continue to get. Don't forget, he was the 2nd fastest guy in qualifying. He's got the pace on that number 31, just made some mistakes on pit road. Obviously had that issue on track, you know, lost it there in turns 3 and 4. But very much a quick number 31 Ford Mustang there for Gerald Campbell. We'll see, again, just how this run continues for him.
He's doing a great job there just behind Matthew Weeks there. Doing a great job, and actually kind of, I believe, perhaps stalling out a little bit of progress made in this pack that is 7th place on back. You can see nose to tail a good 7 or 8 cars all inside this gavel as Joshua Clark had a mirror full of, I believe that is the 64 car of Andrew Rucker right behind him, and there is Jacob Adams in that 25 car trying to rebound from that earlier half spin, if you will, but save of that race car there to start this restart that just occurred.
Yeah, and there's
got a car way high up in turn 2.
Yeah, Chad Thornquist there in the number 92, some issue there on that car. So not too sure what happened there. Didn't look like he made too much contact with the wall, just kind of slowed it down, maybe locked up a tire getting up into the corner, had to slow it down to avoid hitting the wall, and there we go. There is some damage on the right side of that car. It is going to be onto pit road, and maybe a day over there for Chad Thornquist, who was running as high as second earlier in this race.
Did he abuse that right front tire? This place has been known to suffer some right front tire blowouts here, and I have to wonder, did perhaps some of the handling did not agree with that setup, although it would be kind of early, I believe, to see that excessive tire wear there, but nonetheless, actually we see other people on pit road. There's Jacob Adams in that 25 car. He's now on the pit grid.
Yeah, so Jacob Adams making that call to come down. So is this the timing of coming down pit road? You've still got, just under 50 laps to go. Yeah, I feel like if you can run it a little bit longer, you should. But guys trying to get that undercut, trying to get that advantage of, you're running on that faster tire for longer, and I can certainly see why you'd want to do that. If the race stays green, that could potentially be the race-winning strategy here, but it's very risky.
He played that same strategy there, Jacob Adams did at Indy, and it did work out for him.
Yeah.
But the track was a little bit bigger than what we're seeing here on this unique D-shaped oval there.
Yeah.
And now, I don't see any other competitors going to pit, but I like that. You weren't fast enough to beat them, perhaps speed-wise, or you're kind of marred back in traffic. So try something outside of the grid. Just risky if a yellow flag does come out. But here we are. We're working lap 110 to 115. This was the window in what we expected some of these guys perhaps to go down pit road here. We'll see who is the first of our leaders.
Yeah, it's now been just over 30 laps here for these guys on the tires. They're going to be really hating the right front on this car. But with just under 50 laps to go here, you probably want to try and make it, if you can, 10 laps, split it 50-50 here in this stint, and then run to the finish, or potentially even run a little bit long on this particular tire set and have super fresh tires at the end. It's tough to say exactly what guys want to do, but within the next, I'm going to say, within the next 20 laps, expect everybody in the field to be down pit road.
Scott Crump, your leader, continuing to put a blistering pace on the rest of the field, kind of in his own zip code there. On days like this, as a driver, this is everything you hope for. No action here, kind of moseying him along, doing all that he can. He's had some great pace. I don't want to understate what this 90 car has done here tonight. He has put a whooping on the rest of the field. Nobody really has been able to wrestle the lead away from that 90 car. We saw it briefly with the 25, but he was no match for him in the long run.
Yeah, and this is great for Scott Crump, obviously, trying to grab a win here in the Cup Series. But yeah, I mean, when you just got pace like that, it's so easy, to run up front, to run good lap times, to start pulling away from guys because you just have confidence in the car. You're not fighting it every single corner, trying to extract the maximum lap time out of it. You're just enjoying the ride. You're one with the car. It's such a great feeling here. And right now it looks like Scott Crump enjoying that here at Phoenix as he's just pulling away from David Tooker, who in turn is also pulled away from Chris Wright, Chad Frankenfield, and Nick Massey.
Yeah, it kind of brings out, you would think perhaps if you're new to NASCAR, so like the guy that's up front is working the hardest, but I always argue the guy up front is working the easiest.
Yeah.
It's the guys behind him that are making adjustments, doing everything they can, driving their heart out to catch the guy up front. So definitely caution
Yellow
flag is out, number 7. That
look.
is not what those guys wanted to see. That had already come down pit road. They'll get the benefit of the wave around here, but what happens here is
Turn 1 again, I think. Oh! Kyle Hanshaw again tries clearing himself up there, I think, on... let's take a look at that again. Tries clearing himself up on Brent Jones in the 89 car.
There's Johnny Thomas to the inside as well. He gets through unscathed, but yeah, 93 car. And that was an odd, either he came up trying to get his entry into the corner, or Brett Jones was not expecting him to come up there right there. Maybe, I don't know, I didn't see him turn down. So, just unfortunate there as we see pit road are going to be a busy place. This puts us just outside of that 50-lap window, I believe.
Yeah, just inside, so we'll probably have 40 laps here on these tires. You should be able to make that. So if we do stay green all the way to the end of this race, then of course we've got that. You know, and I think we don't have to see anybody come down pit road. Nobody's going to need to make a pit stop. If we do have cautions, though, I think everybody's going to want that fresh rubber to finish off this event, depending on how much they have. But I believe everyone should more or less have the same amount of rubber right now.
All right, so Scott Crump was another excellent pit stop there. David Tooker and Chad Frankenfield running inside the top 3 for the first time tonight. He and Chris Wright. Oh, there's a rivalry book. One for the ages here on iRacing. They'll be in the second row.
That'll be fun.
Jared Retzing and Matthew Weeks as well.
Yeah, we know how long Chris Wright and Chad Frankenfield get along on the racetrack. Just go to the last time we were at a flat racetrack, New Hampshire.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you the schedule, or not schedule. I couldn't tell you the score really there. I believe the 20 still, in fact, owes one to the 15.
I'd agree with
by
that.
my last calculation. But will that happen? Will we see payback? We saw that kind of play out in real life with Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin there back in 2017, right here at ISM.
Yeah, we'll see if there's payback there for the 20. Though they've been together on track, I think, during that last run, so we didn't see anything quite yet. Though I'm sure the 20 is not afraid to run the 15 just a little bit harder than some of the other guys around it.
Isn't that always the case? The guy that you seemingly always have beef with is always the one that you're racing against. Let's see. So lap 118. Should go back here with about 40, or excuse me, 30 some odd laps there to go. And the cars that are in front will be taking the wave around, we believe.
Yeah, so the biggest losers here, Jacob Adams is one of them. I forget who else came down pit road earlier on. It was Chad Thornquist. We saw Harrison Talon, I think, was also down pit road. So all of those guys, unfortunately, will be at the tail of the lead lap when we go back to green flag racing here. So didn't quite work out for them, and now they're going to be on older tires as well. So it's just a lose-lose situation right here with that caution coming out.
Scott Crump in that 90, looking to try and enter his name into the playoffs here. He's been the class of the field by far in his own zip code. Definitely has led the most laps here tonight, and no one has been really able to challenge as he continues to set a blazing pace, especially right here on a restart.
Yeah,
he's his 8th one of the night here tonight.
He's been so good on the restarts, not giving anybody else an opportunity to get him on the restarts, and he does that again right there with David Tooker. Tooker hangs on, though, stays in second, and now it's going to be Wright and Frankenfield in second and third going at it.
Jared Retzing and Matthew Weeks there as well. Those 4 cars all trying to extinguish. Oh, got a car around there in the tri-oval, and it's going to be Ethan Burrell back in front of traffic, collecting others. 5, 6 cars are in it.
Lots of cars involved in that one. Oh my gosh. Alexander Van de Sant, you see there right there, your defending race winner. Let's go back to the start of this whole thing with this 97 car. So you see David Tooker.
Out there. Again, for the 3rd restart tonight, a car gets loose in the exit of the tri-oval, that dog leg right there. And this time the victim was the 37 of Ethan Burrell. He backed it hard in front of traffic, and you're looking at the result, a good 10 cars, all with damage.
Yeah, let's go take a look at the Ethan Burrell part of that incident. So it starts there with Alexander Van de Sant just hitting that bad curb there, whatever it is on the racetrack that makes these guys just suddenly spin around. You see that with the 97, and now we're going to follow Ethan Burrell. He gets caught up in that, doesn't quite lock down on the brakes there, and everybody else then has to run it around and avoid. Dustin
other cars
there.
Getting slammed into it. The aftermath as well. Other cars couldn't check up in time. I have to wonder, is that the result of running that transition? It is a harsh transition from that paved this racetrack to the apron right there, and that's actually damaged some cars in real life. So I have to wonder, we saw Van de Sant, he got right on that yellow line, if you will, entering the corner. Did that just upset the car and around again? I believe that has something to do with it, because 3 cars now all with the same issue right on that section of the speedway. So odd.
Yeah, that's very possible. So, drivers involved in that incident: Alexander Van de Sant, your race winner from last week at COTA; Dallas Myhand, Scott Haney, Mark Rebelas, Jacob Adams, Brent Jones, Dustin Dewar, Rusty Capel. I'm not sure if I said Rusty Capel already. I did not. Casey Hatch, Charlie Brown, and I think that's it in terms of drivers involved. Ethan Burrell as well, of course. So yeah, there's your wreck right there. A huge one taking place, and guys deciding to stay out here, of course, as they just came down pit road. But yeah, that really shakes things up there. A lot of top drivers taken out by that one.
And that's just a shame. A lot of those guys, they were having pretty okay days, just not majorly in the lead with track position. But that is the danger of running mid-pack there, and why I often refer to you are running your hardest there. And despite running along 13th or 14th position, that wreck, though, it occurred kind of inside the bottom half of the top 10, and unfortunately just a lot of those guys victims tonight. Track going to be cleared, and looks like we are going to get the 1 to go signal this time by. Scott Crump, he survived another one. This will be the 9th restart there. David Tooker, Chad Frankenfield, Chris Wright, and Jared Rexing still your top 5. As we are working under 40 to go here closely.
Yeah, race really winding down here. It's been Scott Crump's day for sure. He's already led most laps. He's kind of sealed up that particular extra bonus point there. We've got only a couple of guys with lap-led points. I think potentially only just one other guy with lap-led points, and that's Jacob Adams. But you've got guys right now trying to see if they can steal that automatic chase entry and victory from Scott Crump. Still a long way to go in this one. It's still a lot of things to be decided. Crump goes early once again, though, and gives David Tooker a fight with Chad Frankenfield.
That last restart, he kind of snookered him, and he went late there, but this time he was just on the gas, and I like that. Keep him guessing. What am I going to do? What am I going to do this time? He's had that benefit of being the leader so far, and being able to do that as Chad Frankenfield went to the inside. There they go through the dog leg. Oh, caution flags out.
Ooh. Gerald Campbell is the one involved in this one.
Oh, and another car still spinning, sliding in turn 4, and everyone scatters.
Oh, is this going to be exactly what I think it is? And it's right there. It's that transition. Oh, someone else hits that as well. So 2 drivers hit that same transition. Who was the other one?
At this point, there'd be, I know from NASCAR race control, as we see, was that Dallas Myhand there? I didn't see. There are 3 separate spins right there. Here's some talent with what we saw there going around in turn 4. But 3 separate issues all happening within the same time to bring out our 9th caution flag of the night.
Yeah, not sure what's going on here. Everyone's just really, really struggling with this racetrack. But yeah, Gerald Campbell, let's take a look here. Let's see if we can spot. So here we go.
He goes through that transition, just a mirror full of what we saw with the 97 there. If you rewind that just a little bit, maybe we stop and we could see just exactly. See where his car is right as he straddles that line right there. Right in the center.
You can see there
that is where is getting these cars in trouble once they exit back onto the racing surface. They're off the flat of the apron. Yeah, so right there is your trouble spot, and that is what's causing these cars to go around.
Yeah, great eye there by Alex. And we'll go continue in the slow motion pick here and see who that second car was that had that exact same incident. Take a look. You'll see them just popping off behind there, the 21 car.
Yep. And he's trying to gather it up right there. And he goes into a four-way skid.
And here they're about to
into
collide.
a section of the track that's already occupied by another four-way skid. I mean, good timing, bad timing. What a day it has been.
So Gerald Campbell, Corey Abbott, the two with the big incidents there. You also saw Harrison Talon spun around. So, yeah, it's just been hectic there in that part of the racetrack. Guys are going to have to steer clear. You basically either have to fully commit to the apron or don't at all, because if you go anywhere in between, it looks like you're getting involved in an incident like that.
Yeah, you straddle that section of the racetrack, and it just does not. And I don't know exactly if that's a car like unloading there. The weight of the car kind of shifts into the corner right there. That just doesn't agree with the driving skill of whoever's behind the wheel right there. They're just not ready for that, and that is what's getting these guys in trouble. So I'm glad we were able to identify that and analyze. Well, that would be our NBC it, as I'd like to say. But yeah, hopefully drivers that are listening to our broadcast or people at home can know that, hey, tell your favorite driver in the race, steer clear of that section of the racetrack there. It has eaten several drivers for lunch.
It truly has, yeah, and again, if they had spotters or all that stuff, they'd be very much warning their drivers, and everybody would know, but as of right now, we could potentially still see a number of incidents there, especially with guys trying to run closer and closer more aggressively with each other. But restart number, I'm going to pull a number out here and say 9. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes. The next caution will be double digits here, so hopefully we don't see that.
So restart number 9, Scott Crump versus David Tooker once again. Expect Crump to get that early advantage, but the question is, can Tooker claw it back and make the move on Scott Crump? Or will Chad Frankenfield or Chris Wright be the next person to contend with the leader? And Crump goes early before anybody else can put the power down once again.
I think I saw the 19 of David Tooker. He tried to time it right there, and just as he creeped in front, not to make sure he didn't pass the 90 car, that's exactly when the 90 accelerated. Just a flawless restart once again by the 90 car. But David Tooker, he is not going to give up.
Yeah, this has been, I think, the best restart by David Tooker so far. He's there already on Scott Crump. The question is, can he start attacking already on the number 90? Or is he going to wait a little bit here or just try and set it up perfectly? Meanwhile, Chris Wright beats Chad Frankenfield to the line that time there. So Wright into 3rd, Frankenfield in 4th. Jared Rexing fending off Matthew Weeks for 5th.
The side-by-side battle as Rexing went to the bottom of the racetrack right there, trying to get all he can on the inside of the 11 car, who is strong on the exit of the corner, and he's taking a look for Chad on that outside line as well. Chad able to cover the spot. Still side-by-side battle right behind these guys. It's Tate Lytle in that 56 car there under pressure from the 10 of Jared Rexing. Rexing falling back a little bit.
Yeah, Rexing struggling on this restart here. Continues to fall back here. He's just not on this preferred line, and guys, I think, who are running in line, again, that draft effect that we were talking about, potentially playing into favor there. How about this? Chuck Sweeting, we haven't said his name all night long, just as I say that, makes contact, and I think we have a caution out? No, we don't. We stay under green flag racing, but there was definitely an incident there. Head to the replay and take a look. What happened to Chuck Sweeting and another car coming down pit road?
Yeah, I saw one there. It looked like they had committed. That didn't look like to be the problem, but let's see how it collected to 75. Interesting. He just got loose.
Oh, yeah, he just got loose there.
Loose.
Yep, it was Chad Thornquist entering pit road, but it was Chuck Sweeting just getting loose there off of turn number 4. But he's up 16 spots into P14, so again, didn't have a great qualifying. But he's working his way forward, trying to get some points towards the end of this race. Meanwhile, it's still Crump, Tooker, Wright, Frankenfield up front. Matthew Weeks now fills up that top 5.
And these front 5, 6 cars, everybody's kind of close, gaggling right next to one another. The question is, they really cannot move. We have not seen a driver really been able to leapfrog. It's been a revolving door for 3rd place, but the top 2 spots have been pretty much covered by the 90 and the 19 as of late. Chris Wright, though, entering into the picture there, trying to challenge that and change that as he gets onto the back bumper of the 19. And now the battle for the lead is tightening up. The front four are only separated by less than half a second entering turn one.
Yeah, here we go. The question is who can duck out and make a move. That's what I just don't understand. These guys are all running such great pace here. But man, oh man, no one's able to duck out and make a move. There's no second lane that really works for anybody. Jacob Adams could get up there, but couldn't complete a pass. I think we're going to see that same issue here for David Tooker and Chris Wright as they're trying to make the move on Scott Crump. Crump right now has done a great job just placing his car exactly where it needs to be, making life hard for anybody who wants to try and overtake.
20 laps to go as David Tooker goes to the inside there, trying to shortcut a little bit of the road course, but doesn't get the needed speed there on the entry of turn number 3. And now he's actually under attack from the 20 of Chris Wright. He took a look to the inside there. Wow, Tooker really sailed it in there. Will he pay the price on exit?
Looks like it. He does tap the wall just a little bit there. I think that's going to give Chris Wright the chance to peek to the inside in 3 and 4. He doesn't, though. David Tooker saved that time by. He's going to get a chance now to re-attack here on Scott Crump.
Less than 20 laps to go there, and Scott Crump has driven a flawless race. You see the front 8, though, trying to separate themselves from the rest of the field, but still single file, nobody really poking out a line. The 90 car still well in front. A draft assist, though, by the 20 cars. Tad Frankenfield found a piece of the wall on the exit of turn 2. He'll lose a little bit of time, but not any positions behind the 20. In the front 8 there, they're nose to tail. They want to go, but nobody can. Wow, the 19, he is late getting into the corner there, braking, and he's almost getting to the back bumper of the 90 there. It's going to cost him, though. Here comes the 20 to the inside.
Chris Wright has the nose there. He has that preferred line.
Oh, Chad Frankenfield's into the wall hard in turn number 3.
Frankenfield pushes it just too hard there. He's going to now have to fall back into the 6th position. We'll see what the damage is long term on the 15 cars. He's going to continue fighting here now with Tate Lytle, but the right side on that is completely ruined. So it's Crump now over Wright over David Tooker. So Chris Wright is now potentially the man to try and take that win away from Scott Crump.
Oh, you saw David Tooker actually get a little bit loose, and he'll lose a little bit of speed once again to the 20 car, who's now trying to set his sights on Scott Crump in that 90 car at the stripe. 15 laps to go. 16, excuse me. That's how fast the 90 car has been there. He already flashed by the start-finish line. He is clicking him off. I'm impressed by Massey Weeks in that 11 car there, Lursav. He's been able to methodically work his way. Now you see 3 Pro Edge Racing teammates nose to tail. Those Toyotas there working together. We know what that's like at the end of the race. David Tooker's actually falling back here. Here comes Massive Weeks once again as Scott Crump continuing to lead at the height of that cam shot that we just showed, though. We see lap traffic. Haven't really talked about that tonight. Will that be an issue? We've seen it play out before as we take a look. The lap counter there, I believe that's 32. So Justin Dewar there, the next victim to go a lap down, and I believe they will catch him before we get to the end of this race.
Yeah, they'll definitely catch Justin Dewar here. It shouldn't be too much of an issue, but he will take a line away at least for one corner. So
we say that, but we know what one lap traffic, no fault of their own. But it's never just not an issue here.
Just ask Kevin Harvick, but
that happens in real life. That happened. We saw that last week. I was getting back to Dakota. I didn't even thought about real life there. But
that's true. That's very, very true.
Lap traffic. I just get I'm scared just thinking about it.
Oh man, but yeah, for Scott Crump, he just wants to clear this 32 car. Right now, doing a great job, just fully clear of this 20 of Chris Wright. Wright has just not been able to close in, and there you go. Dustin Dewar does a good job, just gets way out of the way there in turns number 1 and 2. Chris Wright closing in on Scott Crump? Not really. That last lap, Crump was a 1/10 of a second faster than Wright. So right now, as it stands, Scott Crump looks like he's going to be uncontested for the next couple of laps, but of course, things can still be shaken up very, very quickly here.
Chris Wright, though, one of those guys, he had a good run there inside the top 10 at COTA 1 week ago, and it's quietly building back that needed momentum. He has had a disastrous couple of weeks as of late, been involved in several crashes, early wrecks. He had a wreck here at New Hampshire with Chris Wright. We already talked, with Chad Frankenfield. We had already talked about that. Had a wreck early at Indy as well, and so he's just wanting to put together some consistent runs, and we're seeing that right now. The first bow tie inside the top 5. We're getting down to it there, Rasav. This might be on the edge of one of the longer green flag runs we have, but we know that because we haven't had a green flag run there, people have found trouble with their tires here. Are we still very much in that danger zone here as we get to the under the 10 to go?
I think we're just slightly clear of it. Like there you can see 32 laps complete. By the time they cross the line, it should be about 41 or so laps done on these tires. I think they'll be just okay. I would say 55 to 60 laps. Oh, the yellow's out.
As I just said there, what happened to Gerald Campbell in the 31? It has just not been his day at all.
Loose there.
Loose off the corner and
hard
hard hit to the inside barrier as a result.
So now the question is track position or tires? I'm going tires. Absolutely going tires.
You're gonna make a lot of people mad if you stay out. Including a couple of broadcasters here who know what it's like to drive when people make that decision. It is a Hail Mary, and I hope to see everybody on pit road. I would imagine to see everybody on pit road here. Now, my next question is, do we see people take 2 tires, though? Because you could get a rash of yellow flags, and new for this season, I'd like to mention we have up to 3 attempts at a green-white checkered.
Wow.
Scott Crump stays out?
Wow, I would not have made that call. And not a lot of guys staying with him. Could Scott Crump, the dominant force today, have just thrown this race away?
Wow. It's never over until it's over here. I am scratching my head, but
I don't get that call.
I mean, there are other people that did stay out with him as well. Chuck Sweeting.
There's 3 other cars that stayed out with him. That's it.
But this is disastrous there. We'll see if that pace could be. We had already, how many tires had we, or how many laps have we had on that set of tires there, Sav?
We have had, I think it's about 34 laps. You're talking about probably 50% life on that right front tire. That's not a healthy front right tire.
Oh, you see, even more people are beginning to bail out. I wonder if Chuck Sweeting's like,
yeah,
I don't want to do this. I think even there's more lap traffic ahead, but I don't feel good about this at all.
No, I don't either there. So Jared Rexing will be the first car on fresh tires to walk off pit road, and that's because, I believe, let's take a look here.
Did he take 2?
He took 2. So everybody...
I was going to ask that.
So everybody from Jared Rexing, so it'll be Rexing, Clark, Massey, Rucker, all took 2 tires. Chris Wright was the first car to take 4 tires. Matthew Weeks took 4 tires as well. Johnny Thomas took 2. Chad Frankenfield took 4. Harrison Talon took 2. Jacob Adams 4. The rest of the field beyond from Jacob Adams took 4. So you've got no tires, you've got 2 tires, and you've got 4 tires. I'm going to say, with the guys from 5th to 8th being 2 tires, the winner will come from that group. Either Jared Rexing, Josh Clark, Nick Massey, or Andrew Rucker will be your race winner today.
We talked about this. just before the drop of the green flag because we didn't know what was happening here on the front stretch of this old ISM Raceway. But tire wear was going to be a factor, and I believe you're going to see this play out perhaps in the worst way possible for one of the most dominant cars, not just of the night, but of the season. We have not seen one guy be able to control an entire race like we've seen out of that 90 car here. And now the question is, did he throw it away?
Yeah, I mean, I have to
Jared
think
Rexing, you said he's on 2 tires there.
Yeah.
A couple of 2 tires. So the first, who was the first four
Chris
tire
Wright. In 9th position,
Wright.
Chris Wright is the first man on 4 tires. So look out for him. Look out for Jared Rexing. Those are the cars.
And the question is, can you dodge the wreck? I do believe we see a wreck on this lap.
Someone wrecked there under caution. I don't know who that was.
Oh.
Weaving. I think it was Kyle Hanshaw. He's been in a number of wrecks tonight, but here we go. Oh, man, I don't know what to expect for this.
Well, we are going to see the good, the bad, and the ugly play out here at Phoenix. The 90 car hard on the loud pedal. 4 laps to go. Next time by, do they survive?
Wow.
And on older tires, as they enter turn number 1, this has been the trouble spot here before they get to the dog leg.
Here we go. Rexing is by Chuck Sweeting. He's now just got Tate Lytle, and he's got Scott Crump now between himself and the lead. Jared Rexing is going to be your biggest threat. Chris Wright still stuck in 7th position. They're coming to 3 laps to go here. What is the pace advantage? Look at that corner speed
Gonna
from
get
Jared
the Tate
Rexing.
Lytle there.
Oh, they're
crash!
wrecking.
Turn 4, there it is. It's going to bring out the yellow flag,
Caution
but
is
Jared
out.
Rexing is going to be in, that 3rd position there, and that's definitely enough time to get back up to the 90.
I think that's prime position because he's now starting directly behind the 90. No, well, not necessarily. Whoever starts directly behind the 90 might have the best shot at winning this race here between Josh Clark or Jared Rexing. Oh, man.
That's true. That's very true, because he could elect to start on the outside and maybe get boxed in, and in that case, that would go out to Joshua Clark, who is still on old tires as well. So Tate Lytle and Joshua Clark, they are kind of the buffer cars between the 90 and the 10.
So, so here's the thing. If you're Scott Crump right now, you're hoping we get to the point where we don't have any more green-white checkers, because this will be our first official green-white checker finish. We have 3 of these available to us. If there are 2 more wrecks, Scott Crump could still be crowned your victory. If it goes green to the end, man, he's going to have a rough time defending, though it's, man, I don't know. If Scott Crump pulls this off, that'll be an impressive win. Not just because he led all the way, but because he held people off on those really old tires on that number 90 car right now.
Yeah. Basically, one of the only people on here with that we thought would have a shot to win on older tires there. So let's see. But Jared Rexing, he was going to get around Tate Lytle. And just as that caution flag came out there, that is what set us up. But now our first attempt at a green-white checker. And I mentioned the 56 and the 28 car. Those are teammates, but they're also going to be buffer cars because no matter what, on the outside, the 28 car is going to have to start on the lane that the 90 car does not occupy. And then Jared Rexing, despite what he chooses, and I would, if I'm, the 90 car, I actually would choose the outside lane because that would mean he is boxed in by the guy that's on the inside lane, which would then be the 56 car, who then has to fire off after the 90 car. So you have your best competition, the guy that has the best shot, kind of trapped behind a slower car already.
Yeah, let's see how this plays out, man. This is what a crazy way this race is ending, and I mean right now it looks like Scott Crump's going to pick that inside lane. We'll see though if that's how it actually plays out. We'll see when they cut back over. Lights should be out on the pace car as they cross the line. No, we're going to go for one more time around. Interesting.
All right, so that decision will have to be made. But I'm holding my breath because I believe the outside lane is the saving grace. You don't want Rexing to be right on your back bumper to fire off what he does, because he's going to be able to clear that 28 car fairly easily, and he'll have nothing but the sights of you. At least with him on the outside lane, he has to get around. He has to get around that 28 car and 56. It looks like he's going to take the outside lane. And that's what I would be doing. but we still have one to go, so this is not official yet until they get to the start-finish line here. My, oh my, it's never straightforward here, Rashav. It's just not. This is why we have such a great following on YouTube here, because you never know. Just when we thought and wrote the check and had the ink almost dry, it changed in a hurry.
It really did, and you know, we've had quite a few of these green and white checker finishes. Actually, I'd love to go in and actually check just how many of these races have been finished under some form of green, white checker, late race caution scenario. It obviously puts on a bit of a crazy show, and it results in some pretty crazy results. But you know, that's just how these races have played out this season. It's been so intriguing. I mean, it gives us a lot to talk about at the end of these races, though. I'll say that for sure.
All right, so Scott Crump, dominant car of the night, outside lane. I believe that is the right ticket, at least his saving grace to try and get the victory lane here tonight at Phoenix. Question is, can Jared Rexing or somebody else on a 4-tire strategy call get around that 90 car before the yellow flag comes out? And if they make it across the start-finish line here, the next flag will indeed end the race. 90, he's off and away. As Joshua Clark and Tate Lytle, Pro Edge Racing cars, fail to get going right there. The 90 car could have the buffer he needs. Jared Rexing still stuck in traffic trying to go in the middle.
Yeah, and here we go, and Chris Wright is going to dive all the way to the bottom. He's going to shoot up the order. Oh, we got a car around.
Crash.
If Chris Wright's in second here, though, no caution flag.
I can't believe they did not call a yellow flag for that there. Chris Wright underneath. Tate Lytle, they are going to see
One
the
to
lights.
go.
Can the 90 car, Scott Crump, keep the guys behind him in check? The 20 of Chris Wright on newer tires. He'll have one final set of corners there. He dives down low.
Ooh.
The 90 car with a blip. Will it be enough? The 20 is going to try and fill it in there. Doesn't get the position there.
Oh, here comes the 28.
Here comes Tate Lytle. Oh my
Josh
goodness,
Clark.
3 wide to the checker
Chris
flag.
Wright now.
Punched by Jared Rexing, and Chris Wright gets the win. Wow.
Wow. Chris Wright just there in turn 4 beats Scott Crump for the victory in that number 20 Walmart machine. Let's go back and watch this, because what a race between these guys through turn number 4. And that's where it all really happened, is when Chris Wright dove to that apron to make the move. So here it is.
Wow. A little bit of a blip there by the 90 car. I wonder if that had anything to do with it. But no, I think him being on 4 fresh tires, Crump missed his mark by just that much, and it opened up the bottom. There was the 20 car, and I mean, Scott Crump can't believe what happened. He throws it into the inside wall right on the after the checkered flag. Can you believe Chris Wright, with a 4-tire call, started 9th, able to get through 8 cars for a last lap dramatic pass for the win?
Yeah, incredible by Chris Wright there. Great foresight in terms of how he played out those moves. Dove to the bottom there, and Scott Crump, I don't even know if Scott Crump missed the corner. I think he just went up to try and defend from Joshua Clark, who had an insane run on the outside. So he tried to go up and defend. That completely opened the door there to the inside, and here you go. Chris Wright gets to celebrate with donuts at Phoenix Raceway tonight, despite the fact that Scott Crump led probably 150 of 156 laps at least.
You know, it all went away on just the final corner there, but he did a well of a job on those older tires there. It was going to be a tall order, and I mean, what if he had won that race there? That's what that question is there, but unfortunate for the 90 car. The fortune goes to the 20 of Chris Wright, who enters his name into the playoffs here once again for the 2021 Season B in Elite.
Yeah, and let's bring him in. I mean, what a ridiculous finish there. He's in the middle of his celebration lap, but we'll interrupt it here just briefly. Chris Wright, congratulations. You're an Elite JoinAPS Cup Series race winner. Talk us through that last, those last 2 restarts there, that call to take 4 tires, and what was going through your head when the seas parted for you in that final corner to take your first win.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was surprised at the amount of people that stayed out and some guys taking 2. Just the way the tires were all night. And that was probably our longest run on tires, definitely our hardest run. We were all running pretty hard there, and I felt like second was all I could get. So when Scott decided to stay out, I pitted, restarted ninth. We had a bad, restart in that inside lane the first time. Then the second time we were, starting from sixth, and when Scott picked the top, I felt like it was my race to win at that point. Him picking the top, let me get that run, and I don't know how many wide we were down the dog leg, but I knew when we got to 3 and 4, I was second, and I felt pretty confident that with the newer tires, I could make the pass.
Wow, I mean, that was definitely perhaps the most dramatic finish we've had this season long. 3 wide out of turn 4 there. Walk us through your night, though. I mean, it wasn't easy. Nobody had anything for that 90 car, Scott Crump, at all.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, he was the best car here. There's no doubt. Scott was the best car. The race was for second. I felt like I was good enough to run second. Nick was good enough to run second. We had Jake up there. Tooker was up there. Matthew Weeks was up there. There was a lot of us up there that could run in the top 5, and we all took turns running second, third, fourth, and whatnot. And just the way the strategy played out at the end, tires are so important right here at this racetrack with this car that I felt like if we got the laps, I could get there and get the restarts, and everything just fell into place. But it was a fun race. I mean, I'm really proud of the fact that last lap was, I don't know if they bounced off each other, but was clean. I didn't, have to drive in there and wreck anybody or hit anybody. We just rolled the bottom, when Scott missed the bottom there into 3. So I was really happy to make that clean, because we've seen it in Elite in the past, just last year for the championship, somebody not do it clean, and I didn't want to be any part of that.
All right, well, Chris, again, congratulations on grabbing your first win here in the Cup Series. Of course, locking yourself into the chase. It's been a good season for you so far. Want to give you a chance to make some shout-outs here on the air.
Yeah, I want to first and foremost give a shout out to you guys. The broadcasting, it's a whole different animal. I didn't know anything about it, and I've taken over along with Nick Massey, one of my real good friends. We broadcast the Elite Xfinity Series on Monday nights, and that's a ton of fun. Bristol was a great show. Hopefully everybody tunes in next Monday night. It's going to be Richmond full length. Chad does a lot. Elite, everybody in here. My teammate, Jacob Adams, Nick Massey, I mentioned. Josh is out here. Tooker, I want to give a shout out to Tooker. He let me go for second. I was surprised. We're not teammates. We're friends, but he let me go to get the second there that last round. And then I want to thank everybody at Walmart, store number 1259, everybody at Belly Up Sports, Chairgating, and just once again, you guys for doing the broadcast. It's a lot of fun to do those broadcasts, and it's I've really enjoyed Monday night broadcasting.
It was a lot of fun tonight watching you and getting that win there, Chris Rice. So congratulations there. You are a playoff contender for 2021 Season B in Elite.
All right, so there was your race winner. We'll bring in now, unfortunately, the man who led. I want to say I'm waiting for the results to come in officially, but I believe it was over 150 laps. But unfortunately, it was 156 laps led Scott Crump. But unfortunately, 1 lap was not led, and that was the final lap. Just talk us through that decision there, staying out on those old tires, seeing the rest of the field come down, and then still coming up second place. A great run there at the end, but just coming up short.
Yeah, I made the right call, and it was the only call to make. Just stay out there. I mean, caution comes out a lap later, everybody stays out. I was just surprised that so many people pitted, but I mean, if I pit, everybody stays out, and then I'm screwed either way. So
that was a tough call. There's always, unfortunately, with those late race yellows there, that decision is, I've heard Larry Mack say, damned if you do, damned if you don't. But you had the speed here tonight in perhaps the most dominating race we have seen all season long. You can walk away with your head held high in a second place spot here tonight, but what does this say about your chances in getting your name to victory lane here for the rest of the season?
I mean, I've had a fast car week in and week out. I just don't have any luck as it shows. So, I mean, I've never been this disappointed in a second place finish, but this one's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, definitely a tough one, man. Obviously, we all feel for you. Such a dominant run. You were so tough to pass for guys, and just, yeah, you did everything right there, and unfortunately just came up a little bit short. Wanted to give you a chance, though, to make some shout-outs here on the air while we have you, and yeah, hopefully we get a chance to talk to you, come next week.
Yeah, I'd give a shout out to Stay Tuned Sports Podcast, Jimbo. He's the man. Also, TD Designs. Um, also, Chad Frankenfield for putting this league on. Kind of worked together a little bit. We're teammates in a truck. I'll say this. Camry's fast all night, and she was really fast on long run and didn't even really get to show that off. But I guess we'll go on to next week.
All right, man. Once again, unfortunate there. P2 at the end. Still some good points. And of course, get to hold your head up, held up high, knowing that you were the best car here out there today.
All right, thank you.
All right, Scott Crump there, a disappointed second place finisher.
Heartbreaking. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, is that not emotional there? Not what makes these guys want to race here week in, week out? Just the raw emotion that this sport gives, the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, and why it's never over until where we see that start-finish line begin and that checkered flag fall, because this will everything. He led, you said that, what do you call it? He led 156 laps here. Guess how long the race was originally scheduled? 156 laps. So it's just even more heartbreaking when it comes down to that.
It's unfortunate the way that came out, yeah, but we'll bring in here our third place finisher and one of the biggest overall movers of the race there, up 13 spots from qualifying position, Jared Rexing, man. A great finish to that event there. You were the lead driver on the two-tire strategy. Didn't quite work out for the win there, but to grab third position, talk us through the race as a whole and talk us through where you might have expected to finish before that green-white checker came and just talk us through that final decision there to go for 2 instead of 4.
Yeah, that was really a great race for me, even if we hadn't got them race restarts. I qualified 16th. Feel like I probably had a 5th to 8th place car, realistically. But, Crump had it in the bag, and, late race shenanigans, it is what it is. But congrats to Chris. Scott to come out second is still amazing, in my opinion. And, yeah, the two-tire call, I mean, if that last caution wouldn't have come out, I think I probably would have been able to run away with it. But, if we didn't get that caution, then I wouldn't have had a chance. So the two-tire call, I just wanted to be the first guy on fresh tires, and it worked out that way. It didn't work out for the win, but overall net gain, and definitely pleased to come out third.
Yeah, Jared Rexing, we haven't really talked much to you since your earlier win in the clash here, but seems like momentum is heading into your side here, especially here tonight. How do you feel your chances are for the 2021 season be with 5 more playoff chances remaining?
Yeah, I'd have to look at how far back I am, but it's been a pretty miserable season to say the least. I ran good at Indy and kind of threw it away at the end of the race there. My fault wrecking Trevor Elam. I still feel bad about that, but I've had pace here and there, but really it's just been miserable. And so to get this third place and be able to talk to you guys, it's been so long, is definitely a confidence booster. And looking at the rest of the schedule, I think I'll be pretty good at Iowa. Bristol's a crapshoot. Who knows what could happen there? Atlanta and Kansas, I feel like I can get top 10s at those places. So I'll just have to look at the point situation, but for sure it's a confident boost. I feel like I finally got this new car figured out. So we'll see what we can do moving forward.
All right. Well, we hope we'll get the chance to speak with you some more as the season continues to play out. But before we let you go tonight, I want to give you the chance to make some shout outs here on the air.
Yeah, absolutely. Something small, but something that helped out. Chuck on that last second to last restart was right in front of me on old tires. He was spinning the tires like crazy. He did all he could to keep off my front bumper. I did all I could. So, I'm glad I didn't wreck him. That would have been absolutely terrible. But and also I want to shout out to Kendall Noah player who couldn't be here tonight working, but he gave us some fast cars at Racing Point team. So yeah.
All right, man. Congratulations again, P3. Hopefully, starting to turn that season around, making a late season run here. So, Jared Rexing, your third place finisher.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Razov, many times we have been left speechless here tonight, and I think that finish says it all. There, that was a great. That's everything you want as a fan to see that happen. But for drivers, there's obviously always going to be a loser. And tonight's was a little bit heartbreaking more than usual.
Yeah, you can just take a quick look at that Scott Crump interview, and we don't have face cams on the drivers, unfortunately, but you could just tell he was disappointed. You could just
Yeah.
it was very clear.
He put it in the wall right after
Yeah,
the trigger flag fell. It was just so.
Yeah, that just goes to me to show just how much these races mean to these drivers, how much they really care, how much work they put into to work and drive well and perform well here. There is a lot on the line. They all have, obviously their pride, but there is obviously a cash prize on the line, and guys are considering that. But ultimately, most of these guys just want to come in here. They just want to win races. They want to beat some of the best drivers here on iRacing. They just want to win races, and Scott Crump was doing that. Just strategy is part of racing. It's part of the game, and I'm sure he'll be able to look back on this and be proud of the race as a whole and what he did, doing everything that he could in his control. But it's a tough one. It's tough nights like these to go to bed and things like that and think, man, what could have been. But no, this is not the last we've seen from Scott Crump. But of course, also absolutely have to celebrate Chris Wright. What a great strategy call. What a great race in general. Was right up there. Was a top 3, top 4 car in terms of speed all race long. Made the right call on tires. Shot up the order in 3 to 4 laps there from 9th position all the way up to the lead. And got it just at the end there. So, absolutely hats off to Chris Wright getting it right. But, of course, feeling for Scott Crump as well. And of course, Jared Rexing as well. Kind of getting that season turned around. So, a lot of things to look forward to. I think, we end up with more storylines coming out of this race for us to look forward to, continuing this season. So, I'm looking forward to it.
I am as well. I have to apologize. I have a new puppy. If you can hear him in the background there, barking, trying to get him to be quiet, but he's definitely vying for attention here. Something that continues to vie for our attention here will definitely be next week's episode right here on YouTube 8:30. I believe we're going to Iowa. Is that what is next on the list? So that'll be a fun one there. Another chance for these next-gen cars to shine on a track that we really don't know will react there. So I definitely believe that we are in for a treat coming along. But one last congratulations given to Chris Wright. He is your victor here tonight. A great show put on by these guys and drivers here, all doing the best that they can, driving as hard as they can, and in the name of entertainment. And for you guys at home, I'm so glad that we can bring you such fun action out of Elite Racing League. So again, I want to give a thanks to our sponsors as well, C2, Hopegivers as well, Blue Egg, and all that they do. For allowing us to give you guys and girls these great pictures. But from all of us at the Virtual Phoenix, congratulations again to Chris Wright, the 20 car. He is in the playoffs. We will be in Iowa next week. Join us right here at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time for the next race. So long.